Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the shorter version of This Is Fate. Karan sent some goons to kill Rishab, and after the goons hit Rishab with a heavy truck, then Karan was shocked and he shouted in the office. I'm just wondering, why was he shocked? Because you sent people to go and kill your brother and you're still shocked. Anyway, let's continue from there. Rishab gets hit by the truck sent by Arjun. Arjun in the office sees this and he was shocked seeing that. Arjun immediately runs out of the office and he goes to Rishab, who was lying unconscious in the rain. Arjun holds Rishab and he asks him to open his eyes, but Rishab loses his consciousness. Arjun asks Rishab to open his eyes and he begins to cry, and he asks the people standing around to call for an ambulance. Arjun says that Rishab is his brother and nothing must happen to him. Arjun begins to cry and he tells Rishab that he will not let anything happen to him, and he picks him up. Anjali comes there and helps Arjun, and they all carry Rishab into the car. Arjun asks the driver to drive fast. Anjali gets shocked seeing Arjun's behavior and is concerned for Rishab when he was the one that sent the thugs to kill him. Anjali asks Arjun that why is he crying for Rishab now when he only wanted to kill him and take his revenge. Arjun asks Anjali if she is mad and how can he kill Rishab, his own brother. Arjun says that he specifically told Vishu to just injure Rishab, but his brother has lost a lot of blood now. Arjun remembered and a flashback is shown. Arjun tells Vishu to carry out the job like an accident and he should not kill Rishab. Vishu asks that what do Arjun really want, because one moment he is saying that they should kill Rishab and the other moment he is saying that they should not kill him. Arjun says that he doesn't want Rishab to die and Vishu should just hit him a bit to give him some bruises, and that would threaten Rishab and he will be scared a bit, but he should not die, and the flashback ends. Arjun apologized to the unconscious Rishab and he cries. At the Lutra house, Raki feels like something bad has happened and she holds her chest in shock. Preeta comes there and asks that what has happened. Raki asks Preeta to call Rishab immediately because she wants to know where he is, because she feels like something bad had happened to Rishab. Grandma and Shriti comes there and Grandma asks Raki to calm down. Preeta and Shriti both receives a message on their phone and they both look at each other in shock. Preeta asks Shriti to stay with Raki and she goes inside. Raki asks that what has happened and why did Preeta run inside. Grandma asks that what message did Shriti received on her phone, but Shriti lied that there's nothing. Preeta in the room sees the breaking news of Rishab's accident and she was shocked. Mahesh comes running to the hall and he tells Raki and Grandma that he just saw a news where Rishab was involved in an accident and everyone were shocked. Preeta also comes there and both Raki, Mahesh, Preeta, Grandma and Shriti leaves for the hospital. In the car, Arjun continued to shout at the driver to drive faster because his brother must not die. Anjali tells Arjun that they won't be able to move forward because there is heavy traffic ahead and the rain is falling heavily. Arjun gets frustrated and he opens the car door. He picks Rishab up on his shoulder and he begins to walk towards the hospital in the rain. Anjali tries to stop Arjun but she couldn't, and Anjali thinks that Arjun loves his brother Rishab so much, then how would he be able to take revenge from Rishab and Preeta? Arjun arrived at the hospital with Rishab on his shoulder and he asked them to admit Rishab to the hospital because he is his brother and he must not die. Rishab was put on the stretcher and the nurse asked Arjun to fill the formality form before they can start any treatment on Rishab. Arjun tells the nurse that he would fill the form later and he asks the nurse to call the doctor. The doctor comes there and the nurse tells the doctor that Arjun did not fill the form for them to start the treatment on Rishab. Arjun shouted at the nurse and he throws all the papers away, saying that if they refuse to start treating Rishab immediately, then he is going to make sure that their hospital is closed down. The doctor asks Arjun to calm down and Arjun asks the doctor to save Rishab because he is his brother. The doctor is shocked to hear that and Arjun says that he meant to say that Rishab is just like a brother to him. The hospital staff takes Rishab to the surgery room and Arjun was constantly crying, asking Rishab to open his eyes. The doctor begins to operate on Rishab and Arjun keeps looking at Rishab through the door pane. Later, Arjun finds the wristwatch that he gifted to Rishab before his death and he picks up the wristwatch and he begins to cry seeing Rishab's condition. Vishu and Bitu calls Arjun on the phone asking that where is he because the work is done and they are coming to collect the remaining payment. Arjun says that he is at the city hospital and he asks them to come to the city hospital for their final payment. The Luthra family gets stuck in the traffic on their way to the hospital. Raki blamed Mahesh for taking this route, cause if they had taken the other route, then they would have gotten to the hospital by now. Shriti goes out of the car to check how bad the traffic is. Anjali was still sitting in the car after Arjun took Rishab to the hospital on his shoulder. Anjali was shocked to see Shriti in the traffic, and she thinks that the Luthras must have definitely heard about Rishab's accident. Shriti goes back to the car and tells everyone that the traffic is really bad even at the front. Samru calls Preeta on the phone and Preeta tells Samru that they are stuck in the traffic. Samru also says that he is at the second route and there is heavy traffic there as well, but he would meet them at the hospital soon. At the hospital, Vishu and Bitu go to the hospital looking for Arjun. Arjun sees them and he begins to walk towards them with a lot of anger on his face. Vishu's friend tells Vishu that Arjun looks really angry and he asks that what happened. Arjun grabs Vishu by his collar and he begins to beat him so badly. Arjun asks that why did Vishu not follow his order. Vishu says that he did exactly what Arjun asked him to do, so Arjun should pay him his balance. Arjun says that he specifically told Vishu to give Rishab a scratch just to scare him, but Vishu instead ran Rishab over and now he will not spare him if anything happens to his brother. Vishu was shocked that Rishab is Arjun's brother and Arjun angrily leaves from there. Arjun, while walking inside the hospital, sees the hospital temple and he goes there to pray. Arjun knelt down in front of the Krishna idol and he prays to God for Rishab. Arjun says that he did not want to kill Rishab, and even though he ate Rishab, but that doesn't mean that he would kill him, so God should please answer his prayers. Arjun says that if God answers his prayer and Rishab gets well, then he would never make this mistake ever again in his life. As Arjun was praying, he heard two nurses talking that Rishab Luthra needs blood and his blood match is not in the blood bank and there is heavy traffic outside, so it will take them up to 2 hours to get blood. Arjun quickly goes to the nurses and says that he would donate as much blood as possible to save Rishab. The nurse asks if Arjun's blood matches with Rishab's blood and Arjun says yes, so the nurse asks him to follow her. The nurse takes Arjun's blood and she gave it to the ward boy and she asks Arjun to stand up slowly. Arjun says that the blood they took from him will not be enough because the doctor earlier said that Rishab needs a lot of blood, so the nurse should take more blood from his body. The nurse tells Arjun that there is a requirement and protocols that they have to follow when taking blood from people, so she has taken the required blood that Arjun is allowed to donate at a time, so she cannot take more blood from him again. Arjun refused to accept and he begins to argue with the nurse to take more blood because Rishab needs it. The nurse finally agreed to take more blood from Arjun. The nurse says that Arjun really loves Rishab so much, but did Rishab knows that Arjun loves him this much? Arjun says that he wished that Rishab knows and value his love, but that is not the case. The doctor was standing outside and he overhears their conversation and the doctor leaves from there thinking that what relationship does Arjun have with Rishab that he is going all out for him like this. Okay guys, so what can I say? Blood is truly thicker than water. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.